All right, let's welcome back to Straight Fire. Boy, this guy, he's all over the news. You write a big time book, you get all these great stories and anecdotes. Yaron Weitzman, author, writer, he's written for Fox Sports. The book is called A Hollywood Ending: The Dreams and Drama of the LeBron Lakers. By the way, Yaron, obviously, welcome back to the pod. I'm just
Thanks.
curious, are Lakers fans coming after you? Does it feel like you're under attack?
Has a bit. So I'm not looking. Let me rephrase. I scan the mentions. I'm very vain. I'm not gonna pretend like I don't look at the mentions. I obviously do. Anyone who says
We
that they're
all are,
lying,
yeah.
right? Okay. It's a lot of these. Some of the aggregating accounts that pick it up. Like you can't really look at all the mentions. Like it's just a lot that's going on there. So
Yeah.
I haven't seen. I've gotten a few. I got a few DMs. If I ever come at LeBron again, I'll bleep you up. Someone.
Nonsense,
I
yeah.
saw I posted someone said it's always the Jew reporters who are doing that. I like that one. That was
Oh,
good.
gosh.
They
What?
got
That's aggressive.
they
Oh,
were
boy.
some like you're on to me. Yes, that's it. So honestly, I haven't been. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a little weird, but I haven't been too bad. I don't think. We'll see.
So I love this topic. I had several book ideas I got close to, and then I'm like, this is a lot of work. I don't know, man. I got to ask, how long did this take? And I guess B, did you try for any cooperation with LeBron, and what was that like?
Yeah. So it took basically 3 years. Basically, was the
Wow.
process, start to finish. Right.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, pretty wild. I mean, I spoke to like, I mean, I can go into it for a little bit, but I interviewed like nearly 300 people.
Mm.
The way like I read everything, like literally, basically any like news article, feature from the past, whatever, 10, 15 years, like all nowadays, it's a gold mine, but it adds a lot of work. There's so many podcasts and so many player podcasts. And like again, it's overwhelming. This you can find gold in there, especially if like you know what you're looking for, and you kind of
Yeah.
quotes that don't stand out. But if you have another anecdote, you kind of connect them. But just go through all that. It was a lot. LeBron, yeah, LeBron. I mean, I always want participation. I knew he wouldn't, not because like LeBron, deservedly so, has decided like he doesn't really do long form interview sit downs anymore unless it's for his own. Why would he give his story to me if he can make it a
Exactly.
Netflix documentary? And I do not begrudge him at this at all. Like I thought maybe when we get the fact checking at the end, maybe they'd want to engage. They didn't. But again, he's reached that point, man. Like God bless. Yeah, he hasn't.
Yeah.
So I tried, but they weren't interested.
What about like a Maverick Carter, people in his orbit, Rich Paul? Did they? I mean, I'm assuming you tried to talk to them face to face, via text, email, whatever.
Yeah, you do. No, I engaged. Nobody in his orbit wanted to have on the record conversations. Some you have
Oh,
some people you do stuff with, and I'm not saying specific, but some people you talk to on background or off the record,
yeah.
they can help with notes. Nobody wants to do on the record. Again, also in the NBA world today, just very few people like you get some, you'll get like people refuse to put their name. It's become accepted to not put your name on something, even if it's irrelevant. Like you can't keep names on it, like the bar, and it's hard to fight against that. So just to go with it sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I guess at that point, it's like, I don't even want people knowing I talked to this guy, because
Correct,
then it's
correct.
out there. And then it's like, oh, maybe he's the leak for
Yeah.
that story. And you kind of get shafted. So I totally get that. So makes it an uphill climb. However, you're able to score some major anecdotes. You're all over the Daily Mail. I mean, you had like probably the definitive NBA storyline before the season with this Russell Westbrook thing.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to ask you,
Yeah, sure.
I'll be upfront. I am a LeBron guy. I do think he's the GOAT. I think he
Yeah.
certainly passed Jordan with the title over the where he went to the Lakers. I've been over this a lot. That being said, well, I'll call him out when he's wrong. I do need to ask, in this Russell Westbrook encounter with the Will Smith situation. So the one nugget that I found fascinating was Darvin Ham left to go bring back LeBron and AD. Okay. And I don't know if we know what Darvin Ham said. Maybe he said nothing.
I
But
genuinely
did he
don't, by the way.
say,
Yeah.
is there a world where maybe Darvin said, "Hey guys, I can't believe you walked out. Can you act? Can you get in there? I don't give a crap if you don't hear like Will Smith. Act like you're engaged. Ask questions." And Darvin Ham says that, and then LeBron goes in, and that leads to the questions. Is there a world where that happened, or
For,
not? It's not even possible.
No, for sure. I genuinely do not know what was like. I've joked to a few people. I don't know what Darvin Ham said. Like I saw someone again talk about checking the mention. Someone was making fun of like Darvin Ham leadership. I was like, I don't know. That seemed like the opposite.
Yeah,
He was able to get them back in the room. Like God, that's pretty impressive. So I don't know what he said. What he said. The part like not you. People miss out. I'm sure like the main subjects are gonna misinterpret like this that part in the that stuff's written in the book. Well, for two reasons, right? One, it's to show what Westbrook felt about LeBron, which is really important, right? It's
Mhm.
really important. It's not me saying he's a phony. And I, by the way, I agree with you. Like the part that I've found so interesting is again, look at like the response, and I've all these mentions. Go and get him, Team Russ. LeBron's a phony. Fine, we can talk about that in a second. The idea that the Westbrook experience in LA went poorly, the notion that that went poorly because LeBron might be fake sometimes is so detached from reality is
Yeah.
insane. It was Westbrook, right? And it's just it's kind of telling to show how people feel about LeBron and specifically in LA that people would latch onto that. But it was all Westbrook and LeBron being a phony or not, it's irrelevant to how to to how the Westbrook experience played out. That said, like writing about LeBron. LeBron's a really important, seminal, not just figure in American sports, but American culture, right? And I felt like having, even if I didn't get the Westbrook anecdote, right? Even if I didn't get the Will Smith one, I think it would have been important to put the parts about sort of the
Yeah.
movie quotes and the books and whatever. Like I think that that's part of his personality. If we're talking about LeBron as a
Certainly.
person, that stuff needs to be included. But it doesn't. But I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you on this.
So I'm looking at Russell Westbrook. He's been on 6 teams in 7 years.
Yeah, right.
And
Exactly.
suddenly this is about LeBron. And
Right.
I'm not criticizing you, or it's the narrative around like the story becomes, oh, you're right. Yeah, Team Russ.
Right.
Actually, I don't know, guys. He's been on a different team every year
I mean,
practically for 7 years. Like that's made it's like when everybody, I can't believe everybody hates me. Why are all these people being mean to me? Hey man, maybe
exactly.
you're the asshole. Maybe it's
Exactly.
about you, like I don't know. I'm not bashing Russ. I know people love to pile on him. I don't know. Talk to me a little bit about the process, like being around the Lakers that often. I'm assuming you maybe went on the road with them sometimes. I don't know. Like, what was it like being in the Lakers orbit? This is basically, the Dodgers and Yankees rolled into one.
So I did. It was so it's fun part's funny. So I'll get to that in a second. I did spend time with them. Um, early on, I live in New York, and I
Okay.
actually I'll answer that. Like I think that was helpful in a way. I think being an outsider sometimes allows you to write about things and
Yeah.
subjects and teams from a different perspective and like and not that I want to burn bridges, but I'm also not like I don't get credentials in the Lakers. Like that's not my home NBA city. I don't need that for my day-to-day job and I'm not getting LeBron interviews
Yeah.
regularly. So again, like it doesn't mean I'm trying to like I'm saying bleep them like I don't care, but just means I don't have to manage relationships and I don't begrudge what people do. Like if you're a beat writer, that's an essential part of the job and that your job is different. But when you parachute in, I have a different job and the ability to look at things from an outsider.
Mm.
So then I would start being around the Lakers a little more at the beginning, but early on it was clear that they weren't thrilled with me being around, which was fine. And
Wait. Is that the players or the team or the ownership
the
or?
team, players didn't care. It was the ownership, and there was a member of the PR staff wasn't so great to me, which is whatever. Okay, cool.
Hold on, hold on. Define not so great.
You
I
would like
mean,
I would go up to a player. They would tell player she specific oh whatever they excuse me sorry
okay.
would tell people players don't talk to him
Really?
even if that wasn't I don't even think sometimes that was coming down from the organization right I think that was sometimes just going rogue I don't know
Wait,
I actually
this
don't
was
think
in front of the players?
and like a bit after or whatever like when I'm not there right like if or
Oh,
say
oh.
yeah and just whatever so all that
Jeez.
combined with the notion that when I started this, like a lot of these players were younger. I realized my bread was gonna be buttered, not necessarily being around the team regularly. Now it's good to check in, but like, who's on the teams? Gabe Vincent, he knows LeBron. Him and LeBron are not best friends, right? These are guys who are barely there. Jared Vanderbilt, like these are guys. I
Yeah,
didn't need to get these guys to get this LeBron perspective.
100%.
What I will say is being around though, like I went to a game on the road in Miami and I'm there, and to get like an example, so the media, LeBron maybe waiting to do his media, I don't remember, but basically someone's talking. Let's say it's Austin Reeves, and he goes in a separate room out of the locker room. All the beat reporters have to go there because they have the job, and I'm hanging
Yeah.
back. And it's basically Anthony Davis, LeBron, Jared Vanderbilt, and a couple staffers, and I'm just there, just like you never know what happens. And this is the prologue in the book. But LeBron, they start talking about contracts, and LeBron's asked, which contract meant the most to you when you literally put pen to paper. And it evolves into this conversation about like Anthony Davis saying, LeBron, what do you think you would be worth? You should get paid if you weren't there was no salary cap. And then having this conversation about it. And it's like being around that and I'm just like a fly on the wall. I'm not saying anything. I'm just listening and like taking notes. And it's just fascinating to hear. And LeBron's answer is 4 years, 500 million. He's talking about how much value he brings to the organization, to teams and cities, and how he always wins a championship after 2 years. And it was such
Mm.
a revealing glimpse. And honestly, looking back, I remember being like, I think he under it. I would have thought he would say a billion, right? I was a little surprised, like 4 for 500 is kind of low. Shea Gilgeous is almost there, right? And like so
Yeah.
I could have gone higher, but it was just you're around the team. So moments like that, it's good to be around a team. But I realized I was gonna I was going to get most of my
Mm.
value from talking to former
Yeah.
people or other people or secondary characters.
In talking about LeBron's run with the Lakers, I feel like obviously, listen, he's going to get a lot of the criticism and he's going to get a lot of the props. They win the title. Hey, LeBron built this team. They don't get anywhere. Well, LeBron wasn't great. He got hurt. It's weird. Anthony Davis was a seminal figure in the LeBron era. I'm just curious. How do you think? What's his legacy like? Couldn't get out of the second round in New Orleans. Goes to the Lakers. Awesome. Wins a championship. I don't know. Is he going to get out of the second round ever again anywhere else? Like, I mean, on some level, when do we have to applaud LeBron for that?
You know who he reminds? It's funny. He actually kind of reminds me. It's Pau Gasol-ish, kind of similar, not just the
Okay.
Lakers, but just like ultimate number two, right? I'm oversimplifying it, but
Great number two. Yeah.
right, and just fits that role, and maybe not number one for different for. And sometimes that's not just about skills; that's also about disposition. Like in the book, I dive into Anthony Davis a lot and talk to high school coaches and people grew up with him, and he just wasn't an alpha like that, which is not honestly probably makes you a better like person I'd rather be friends with, right? But in terms of being on the court, it just he wasn't built that way, and that's fine. And LeBron, I mean, one of my favorite random stories in the book is after the trade, Anthony Davis comes and he's coming in like that first off season there, and he's coming in, let's say it's 9:30 or something every day, and he's getting there the first week, and LeBron's always done. Anthony Davis goes to LeBron, I thought you said if I come here we're gonna work out together. And LeBron goes, yeah, but you have to do that. You have to get here. You have to get here earlier than this to do that. And like it was such a telling little moment from both
Yeah.
sides, right? And LeBron really took it upon himself to be a leader for Anthony Davis and kind of bring him along to a level where they could win a title. So for sure.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. So I talk about my men's leagues, various basketball leagues, and we have a guy on our team who played quarterback at Notre Dame, and he tells me he works out at like 5:30 in the morning. I'm like, oh, I'm in, totally. And then I go to a 5:30 workout. I'm like, oh man, this is freaking early.
That's
Yeah, I
that's
can't
the
handle
whole
this.
thing.
I lasted like maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and then that was it. And hearing this from LeBron, he's a grinder. And Anthony Davis, kind of not, right?
It's I wouldn't even say not because I hear it. I would flip it. I think it's LeBron. It's that like that's his superpower. Like the ability. It's the
Mm.
ability to do to the next level. And honestly, that's the thing that like that's what separates him. Obviously, the gifts, the physical, all that stuff, unbelievable. But like the stuff that he's doing, that anyone can work that hard, that others don't, and that's what separates him and the greats. And like it
Yeah.
was one of the things I wanted to dive into was just what that actually looked like. 'Cause I thought it was important to. We all know the cliches. Yeah, he works hard. Yeah, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But like, what does that actually look like? And I got so many great anecdotes. People would joke that he has this trainer, Mike Mancias, and that they're sitting around playing poker, and like he pops out of a trap door with like LeBron's 218 salmon and quinoa, right? It's like everything is so regimented and just we have it mapped out hour to hour. Michael Beasley told me he knows him LeBron for years, and he's like, it looks like a bleeping NASCAR pit stop out there sometimes. Just like he's doing Space Jam lines, he's got massages going on, like literally the amount of energy and effort that it takes to be that great for that long is something that separates him. So yeah, AD, he's not wired like that. It probably it hurts him, but it's more that LeBron is so like that. He's so special in that regard.
Wow, it's funny. In men's leagues and pickup, I one of the guys is a body double for LeBron in a bunch of commercials and Space Jam,
Okay,
and he's like that guy never eats anything without permission from his trainer,
uh,
and he gets a
there
massage
you
like every
go.
day, every other day, and I'm like, this he wants to be the best. Now I am curious. When you started, you obviously had a perception of LeBron. By the end of the book, did that perception or view of LeBron as the GOAT, or I don't know where you rank him. Did any of that change? Because, I mean, you talk to 300 people about somebody. Listen, you talk to 300 people about me, you're probably going to find some guys who say some really bad stuff about me. Now, I don't think many, because I like to think I'm a nice guy, but I mean, that's a lot of people to interview.
By side of the fire, I guess the fire trucks are coming as we're talking. I no, it is fascinating, right? So the goat stuff, I didn't. To me, it was more the personality and the legacy stuff I was diving into, and like that I found interesting. How do I phrase it? I left. It's not a great answer. I left being a little more confused by him, which is almost ironic because you would think it's like you have more clarity as you dive into something and someone, but just I have trouble wrapping my arm around what he wants, what his goals are. His Lakers tenure has been really strange, really, really strange. Just in terms of we come in, we say we're okay not winning a title right that year one. We're not contending. We're joining the young guys, Lonzo and Brandon Ingram and all those guys. And then very quickly we blow that up and say, no, that's not, we're not okay that we want Anthony Davis. We win the title. And he's giving the Lakers all this latitude they never gave other organizations before in terms of not wanting, being okay, not being a championship contender. And the one thing I can't get over is the Hennessy ad has made me think about this a lot, right? The recent Hennessy ad.
Yeah.
So the part about that and again, the same word, confusing and strange, right? And this could almost put a bow on the answer. Like, fine, cash out, make your money. I don't care, whatever. But the idea that LeBron, when he comes into his Lakers tenure, one of the things he's most known for is ushering in this era of player empowerment. And I'm the boss, and
Oh,
we
yeah,
run
yeah.
things. And that not just on the court, like we run our own businesses. Me and my Maverick Carter, Rich, like we have our own agency, our own businesses. If we have an endorsement, we're taking points on there, right? Like different, all that. Is dipping our toes in political waters at times, right?
Yeah.
And especially around 2020, I dove into a lot of that. And now we're at the Hennessy ad, and what we're doing is we're leveraging our ability to capture attention in the zeitgeist for the purpose of helping a brand we have nothing to do nothing to do with sell some alcohol, right? So again, like I don't care, but it's a strange journey, and honestly, one that usually we see the other way. Usually, you see like kind of like those decisions early in life and careers, and later on, people decide, you know what, I want to start going. I want to make my own thing. I want to be more serious. I want to talk about politics. I want to build whatever it is, right? And it almost seems like we're backwalking. So to answer your question, I'm just like, yeah, he confuses me. He
Yeah.
confuses me, but it's
Wait, let me ask you. Maybe I missed something on the Hennessy ad. Um, is it his brand of Like, is he an
I don't
investor
think,
in
as far
Hennessy?
as I know, no. Maybe I'm wrong, right? As far as I know, no. As far as I know, it's no different than like the DraftKings commercials. Maybe I might be wrong, right?
Well,
I might be
obviously
wrong.
he's paid handsomely by Hennessy.
Correct,
Now,
correct. And but
how handsomely we don't know, but yeah, if he has like an equity, if hey, we'll give you an equity stake, do a big blowout, like I don't know, right?
that could be for sure. That could be. I feel like if that was the case, we might have learned about that, but maybe I'm wrong.
Possibly, yeah,
Yeah. That's like it's funny because it's a weird like it's hard to explain to people like it's a weird line to draw. We're like, no, I'm okay with the DraftKings ad. So again, I find it a little weird. I don't care, but I
yeah.
find it a little weird to just be shilling like that if you're him.
Well, okay, so I'm gonna peel back the curtain now.
Yeah, please.
I haven't revealed a lot of this, but I started at Fox 2016, and then in I think it was 2017, they came to me and they're like, "Hey, we've got a partner. I'm not going to say the company. Would you be willing to fly to New York, host this thing, and then we'll fly you back, first class, all that, and we'll give you X amount of money?" And I was like, "You're giving me that much money to do that?"
For sure.
Of course, I'll do it in a heartbeat. Are you kidding me? I go home and tell the wife we're celebrating, and it's not even that much. It's not even that much money. But it was like the fact that I would be willing to do it for that little amount of money, like a big time person probably would not. But I mean, I'm assuming LeBron got a lot of money. And what did it take for him to do a Hennessy ad? You're on like maybe a day.
So
Maybe
this is
half a
where
day?
I don't disagree. That's why I was saying I kind of draw my weird line, but it to me it makes sense. Is the teaser tweet, right? And I know it sounds crazy. It's like again, you're leveraging your fame and your image, and you're making fun of the decision beforehand
Mhm.
in a way like that. To me, is like where it's different. Where then it's no longer. Hey, yeah, sure. I'll sit on a couch for
Yeah.
I'll set a couch and like, or I'll shoot commercials with Kevin Hart for 4 hours and get
Yeah.
seven figures
Okay.
on that. And again, I know it's a weird line, and some people don't agree, but to me, it's just different, and it's fine. I just again, like, I feel like that tweet 10 years ago would have been for the launch of Uninterrupted that he owns,
Mm.
or the launch of Clutch Sports, which Rich is doing, or
Mhm.
like something like, or I Promise School, or I don't know, calling Donald Trump a bum. I don't know, right? Like something like that, just different, and it's not. And maybe it could be like just getting
Okay.
older and
How,
being like, oh, cool, whatever.
well, you just mentioned it, getting older. As you're explaining that, I'm like, what if LeBron realized, hey, guys, this is the last time I can get one of
Yeah,
these paydays
could be.
for Hennessy. Like, when I'm retired for 3-4 years from now, I'm not doing this if I'm the owner of like the Las Vegas NBA team. I'm not doing this crap. Let me just take it, pay for this, that, and the. I mean, I don't know. I sound very defensive of LeBron.
No, it's. I find it an interesting conversation. I really do. I really
How's
do.
this? Did anything get left on the cutting room floor that you really wanted in? Any anecdotes that the book was like, we're gonna have to pull that?
No, so I'll give you an answer. So anything that I've like, I'm pretty big on if I have it verified and it's there, like, and I think it's good, it's going in, right? And if like otherwise not, the thing I tried to hone in on and I couldn't quite get there. I wrote a lot about Rich Paul. I find him interesting, really interesting, and Clutch Sports is a big part of this.
Now he the one dating Adele?
That is correct. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a hell of a rise. So Rich Paul
Yes.
started his first job in the industry was at CAA for Leon Rose, now the president of Knicks and
Mhm.
famous Worldwide West, who's now the Knicks. I don't know, whatever executive, whatever his title is, but he's a famous world NBA power broker. And they had some falling out at some point, the CAA people and Rich Paul. And this is documented, like there's stories about this and well told. And the New York Post has written about this because it's impacted Knicks free agency stuff. And it's a lot of he said. And I tried to nail down and really get like, okay, what actually happened here and in the end I just couldn't get it there where I basically just took like 2,000 words, exit out and basically yada yada it over 5 years, right?
Oh
I just
man.
like didn't feel comfortable about it. So that's I know it's like that's the best answer I can give of something where like I felt like I was almost there and something that would have been really interesting and a really revealing look into the universe that sort of surrounds the
Mm.
NBA, right? This ecosystem. And just like one person would tell me something that I call the other person that doesn't check out, even though it's about them, and it just became a disaster. I just had to get
Yeah.
rid of it.
Interesting. So I'm looking at the Lakers' history with LeBron.
Yeah,
Okay. We'll
it's
skip over
weird.
the Lonzo stuff because they were refixing the roster. So then they go to the bubble, win the title, they beat the Heat. Okay. The next year, if memory serves, they were like a top 3 seed.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
can.
And
Yeah,
they were
you
up
go ahead.
2-1.
I have a
They were
thought on
up
this. Go ahead.
2-1, and then Anthony Davis gets hurt, right?
Yep, and LeBron
And
gets hurt.
then
I believe that series too.
and they lose. They were up 2-1, and I think they were leading in game 4. I'm not 100% on that final thing. So then AD hurt, LeBron hurt. So the next year they don't make the playoffs. That was the year LeBron was hurt, right?
That was no, they trade for it. So this is I'll me so I'll, this is they trade for Russell Westbrook after that year, and to me
After that, okay.
this is a huge mistake. This is a huge moment that I don't think it's enough. People don't look at it in the proper way, right? So everyone focuses on the bubble and I think the season that was truly impacted by COVID was the year after the bubble, right? That was the season that was bananas, right? That was guys are in and out. Some arenas have fans, some don't. You know, if you're exposed,
Yeah.
you're out 2 weeks. So just the whole thing was crazy. That was the year Giannis won. Probably had COVID, right? We all think, but he won anyway. They won a title. Um, and the Lakers had 71 days between the end of the
That's right.
title before the start of the next season.
Mm.
And they come out great. They come out great. They start that's the year they have Marcus Gasol and Dennis Schroeder. They start things go well. They start out really strong and they just fall apart. I should say fall apart. It doesn't. They don't finish strongly. Guys get hurt, and for and I they react very strongly. The Lakers and LeBron, right? Both sides wanted to add somebody. They react to that loss where in hindsight it should have just been, you know what? This was some crazy shit. Like
Mhm.
these was a crazy 18 months. We got out of the bubble. We got hurt. Like let's just reset. Let's run it back. Let's not do anything rash and see what happens. Let's keep Caruso, Caldwell Pope. We're gonna keep going along LeBron and AD. We don't need to make any rash decisions. And LeBron and Rob Pelinka's front office, both independently and together, decided no, we need to add a star. We need more help, and they overreact to that loss. And I think that's if we're talking about like LeBron's tenure, I think that's the mistake that gets overlooked, like that offseason.
That okay. So they missed the playoffs. I looked it up. LeBron played 56 of 82.
Right, it's
Uh,
Westbrook's first year there, right? Which was a
Yep.
disaster. Yeah,
AD played 40. So AD missed half the season.
yeah,
Westbrook played 78. They had Carmelo Anthony at
yeah. They put together
37.
this this hilarious roster of like guys, Dwight Howard, Rajon Rondo. I think
Oh my
I have in
gosh.
the
Yeah.
book. There's like Rob Pelinka in the first meeting in training camp walks in and goes, "There's more collective Hall of Fame talent than in any room ever." And I guess he might have technically like there's a bunch of Hall of Famers there. He's probably technically
Yeah.
among kind of, but yeah.
So they missed the playoffs. Then the next year, um, they get to the conference finals. Now there was some luck involved. No, they beat the Warriors. Warriors had Curry. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
so they get to the conference finals. They lose to the Nuggets. That was like, weren't the first 3 games kind of close, and then Denver just pulled them out
Yeah,
late?
Denver was better. Like that was that was the first time, like probably second time. There was like the Dellavedova finals year where LeBron against the Durant Curry Warriors, and this group where it was
Mm.
like they were almost like the plucky underdogs. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
just but yeah,
So
they were
so the one
overmatched, but
that
they played great.
hurt was 23-24 because I think that was a series Jamal Murray hit 2 game winners, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So they were not that far behind the Nuggets. I mean, they were close. Would you not agree they were close?
They were close. Yeah, I think they were overmatched, but they did. Yeah, I mean, listen, they were by literally by the score. They were close, right? Now,
Yeah.
like I think Tim McMahon at ESPN always makes the joke about like hang the banner for the sweep, like closest sweep in history, right? Which I
Oh,
think is a good
jeez.
joke.
Yeah, we had him on the
Uh,
podcast. Yes, 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 yeah. Right, right.
which I respect. But they were close, but they weren't. It wasn't. I think most people, if they had
The
won a
Nuggets were
title, it
better,
was
but it
supposed.
was
Yeah,
close. It wasn't like the gap was massive. This wasn't like the Lakers with Phil Jackson getting swept off the floor by the Young Thunder
correct,
back in the day. This
correct,
wasn't like that.
correct,
And then
correct.
last year, I think Luca, Reeves, and LeBron played like 20 games together, maybe.
Yeah, then the roster was upended. It was a trade that it was a trade that would make them more like they knew it. I mean, I assume they like it probably you upended the roster in the middle of the year for
Yeah,
a move you have to do, right? Like it's a no-brainer, obviously.
yeah,
But if I'd be yeah, if you're asking them like, if you don't win a title this year, you guys are all killed. What are you making the trade or not? They
of
might
course.
maybe they say no, right? I don't know if just for that 1 year. I'm making this up. Like in terms of do you have more were they more likely to win a title before the trade by keeping some continuity, right? I don't know. But
Yeah.
for that just last year. But obviously it's a great trade, so
And then that brings us to this year. And I mean, again, this is more guessing than anything, but based on 3 years of reporting, being around, the Lakers and LeBron and people around him and who know him, are you of the belief he finishes the season with the Lakers, or do you think he tries to force his way out? Because he's never been traded technically. I mean, sign and trade, that he wanted, but it's tough for me to envision the Lakers moving off him. It's also tough for me to envision LeBron going to the Lakers and saying, "Can you please trade me?"
Yeah,
Like in February.
I don't think he'll be traded. Also, just for those reasons, and also for like the sentimental reasons and the political reasons, but also he's got a huge salary and just salary cap reasons. It's really hard, and no one,
Mm.
who's the team? It'll be the Cavs, right? That's the team, and they're not trading like they're not giving up Jared Allen and Garland for LeBron, and you need those contracts to match
I don't
salaries,
even know
right?
if I'd want them for LeBron because
So
then
the
you're
other way.
locked in with them for years.
Yeah, I mean, but they're so young. I mean, listen, if the Cavs came and offered Jared Allen and Garland for LeBron, the Rob Pelinka would be like, I got another one of these steals. Oh my God, please.
Wait, you really think so?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Wow. Hold on. Let me let that marinate. So you'd have Luca, Reeves, Garland, Aiton,
You'd have to make some separate,
Rui,
you have to make some separate stuff.
Allen.
Allen, yeah.
I just think the only problem is that locks in pretty much your roster with Luca for like the next 3 years.
So that's interesting. Okay, that brings us to asking what happens. I think we're at a fascinating point, and I don't think he knows. Right? I could be wrong. No one's told me this. I don't think he knows
I would agree. Yeah.
how he wants this to play out, and I think he's adjusting to, for the first time in his life, in 25 years, professional life certainly, not being in control, right?
Mhm.
He's on an expiring contract. Literally, has never happened before in the NBA, and for him in his NBA career. Uh, I listen. I don't know that he wanted to get an option picked up by the Lakers. I can assume he would because why would you want an expiring contract? Rob Pelinka was asked on media day about LeBron's future and said we would love LeBron to finish his story here, which is a beautiful answer that also doesn't answer the question, right? Like, does that mean I joke that like we'd love LeBron to finish his story here, parentheses, and that better be after this year, right? Like that's
Right, right,
kind of
right.
how it seems. So I don't, and he also in the past he's been big on since the Miami days. I don't take pay cuts anymore. So he's got to balance a lot of things here, and I think he's
Yeah.
trying to figure that out. And there's also the Bronny aspect. We all forget like this is Bronny's last guaranteed year with the Lakers, so I
Oh,
don't
is
know.
it?
Yeah,
Oh, so the Lakers could move off both of them.
yeah,
I didn't
right.
even notice that. Wow. Let me ask you this. So let's just spin it out. Um, let's just hypothetical. Lakers win the championship, blah, blah, blah. LeBron's now a free agent. You win the title with LeBron. Do you say, hey, thank you for your service, pal? You were amazing. We'll catch you on the flip side. Or do you think like they say, hey, LeBron, I'm not asking you to play for the minimum. Can you play for 25?
um,
Would he say, hell no? But then the question is, who's going to pay him 50 mil for a guy who's going to be 42 in December of 26?
so this is the thing, right? The money part. It's part of this is for him to decide what he's willing to do contract wise. Like if he was willing to take a not minimum, mid level, whatever.
Mid level. Okay, for sure.
Not mid level, and the Cavs like they would take him in a second. And it would be a great fit, right? And it would be or that it would be he'd fit in. And the part about LeBron that I thought want to make clear because sometimes we talk about him in ending. Like he's still awesome, and even last year he was second team All NBA. So yeah,
All
he's not.
NBA, yeah.
Yeah, he's not like a top five guy anymore. Which got whatever. He is still an awesome, awesome player. Right at the minimum, an all star. Like, what's going to be a bad year if he has a bad year for him? 25-5 with efficient shooting and great passing in
That wouldn't be
55
bad.
games. That's fantastic. So there's that part. The part about the Lakers, which is sort of it's a question hanging over all this, is they're also in the middle of an ownership change, and that's going to
Yes.
impact. And honestly, I don't know much about the new owners. I know them as like the Dodgers owners. I don't know how
Mhm.
they operate. Like, I don't know. Yeah, that'd be a decision that would be up to them at some point, right? If the ownership change happens, like, what do we want? Oh, do we want the first major move we're doing to say bye bye to LeBron? Maybe they don't care. I don't know, right? And that's an interesting aspect to all of this. Um, yeah, again, it's a non-answer. I don't know I say I don't know because like I know so many of the figures here and I have so much insight into them, and I'm just fascinated to see we have like all these all these things meeting at a head that don't always jive together, and something's gonna have to break. And I don't know what it's gonna
Yeah.
be.
All right. He is Yaron Weitzman, the Hollywood ending, the dreams and drama of LeBron's Lakers. Hey, man, congrats on the book. 3 years. That's amazing. It just came out this week. You can get it on Amazon, Kindle. I'm an audiobook guy.
Good for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's better driving out here in LA. I just coming home from work, driving to work,
Makes sense.
45 minutes and I listen to books. So it's awesome, man. I'm happy for your success and congratulations.
I
Thanks.
appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much.